Teaching tips on test and exam protocols. Additional information can be found by searching within the Conestoga Faculty Handbook. According to the Conestoga Evaluation of Student Learning Procedure, faculty must ensure a suitable environment for test and exam writing. Here you will find suggestions that may help you enhance your practices. If you have other practices that have been successful, please share by emailing teachingandlearning@conestogac.on.ca. Setting a framework. Be both mentally and effectively prepared for the testing environment. In a group of students from any background or walk of life, there are those who would never cheat, those who would only cheat under extreme stress, and those who will cheat if clear protocols are not in place to prevent it. Given this reality, you will help your students, yourself, and the reputation of the college if you follow effective practices. Enter Invigilator mode. It's great to develop a rapport with students. During assessment situations, however, we must draw a clear line between student and assessor. Make it clear that the testing environment is different from the everyday classroom environment, and be assertive and confident with your expectations. Preview the test. Students should be aware of the content areas, the weight, the question types, the timing, and allowable resources, including asking you questions. They should have prior opportunity to ask you questions about the upcoming quiz, test, or exam. Post your testing expectations. Post a set of quiz/test/exam protocols in the course shell well before any such evaluations are held. Some students have claimed they did not know they could not talk, take out extra paper. See the faculty handbook via Teaching and Learning. Review expectations in a prior class. 1 week before any evaluations, review with the class how you will be ensuring a suitable environment and preventing academic offenses. Go through the expectations on a set of slides. Refer to the library's academic integrity pages, highlighting the categories of cheating, aiding and abetting, and unscholarly behavior. Require ID. Require students to have their one cards on their desk during each evaluation. Bring a clipboard with the attendance list and check off each student present. We have had faculty suspect a student was writing for another student. Prepare a script to use at the start of each test/exam. You will want to reinforce expectations at the start of each test. Ensure that means for cheating are minimalized. Instruct students to leave bags, coats, pencil cases, cell phones, and anything else other than beverage and writing implements at the front or the back of the classroom. Don't start a test until these requirements have been met. State that you are not responsible for any belongings. Never require students to place belongings in the hallway. Give time warnings. Display a clock on the screen so that students without their cell phones know the time. Make note of major time chunks remaining on the board as well. Provide a warning 10 minutes before time is up. Document in process. Tell the students you will make note of any abnormalities on the attendance list and incident tracking sheet. Follow up with filing a warning or an academic offense appropriate to the situation. Have your cell phone recording the sound in the room and tell them that you are doing so. If a student speaks, makes hand signals, or tapping noises again, alert them that you have noted the behavior. Allow them to continue writing but follow up with an academic offense appropriate to the situation. If you are unsure of the next steps, contact the Academic Integrity Coordinator at academicintegrity@conestogac.on.ca. Confirm test completion and count tests. As each student hands in their test, check off their name. We have had some cases where a faculty knew a student was in the test but had no test later, and the student claimed the faculty had lost it and demanded a rewrite. Be sure to count the number of tests that were handed in and make sure it aligns with the number of students writing. Enforce protocols. Once you have set reasonable protocols for before, during, and after the test, follow through with insisting that students follow them. Establishing a credibility from the beginning will help reduce cheating going forward. This can be done firmly, but cheerfully. You will not be causing undue stress. Report academic offenses. The best way to reduce cheating is to be consistent in dealing with instances of cheating as they arise. Students talk to each other, and any instance of cheating not dealt with encourages more cheating. Cases of medical or emotional emergency. If a student has a medical emergency or other emergency, like a panic attack or anxiety attack, call security immediately by dialing 5555 on the in-class telephone. They are the college's first responders. Preparing for test day. If you find that students are not heeding basic protocols, try some of the following strategies. Create extra copies of the test paper. Some faculty take the original paper and replace it with a fresh one, telling the students to carry on, and both will be looked at when an incident occurs. Create different versions of the same test. You may have the same questions, but reorder the sections and questions, and color code them. For example, blue papers and yellow papers. Distribute the tests in a checkered pattern. Blue, yellow, so that no one is sitting next to another student with the same test. Check the room, including looking under tables. Before allowing entry to the room, check that computers are plugged in computer labs. We have had a case where students unplugged some computers to make them appear broken so they could sit closer. Bring a class list with the names of all students expected to take the test. Have them show their ID and sign in or take attendance as they enter. Once students have sat down, create a seating plan to document their positions relative to each other in the room. Or create a seating plan yourself beforehand and have students sit in the arranged seat. 2 sets of eyes may be needed in some cases. If necessary, contact your chair to request a proctor to assist you with proctoring half the room during the test/exam. Biasing for best during the test. Here are some suggestions to help students have the best testing experience possible. In class, or as homework before the test, provide the students with review opportunities that demonstrate what they will need to be able to do for the test. Provide a sample or practice test. Make sure that tables are empty of any extra materials before the test begins. Begin the testing session with overall instructions to help students understand what is expected of them during the test. For example, you might suggest they look over the whole test to help plan their time. Wish them good success. Explain to the students how to get your attention to ask a question. Assure them that you are available for questions if they don't understand a test prompt. Do not give the answer away. Encourage students to check with you if there is a word they don't understand. Offer to be the dictionary. This ensures that you are testing the student's skill rather than their language, and it will lower the temptation to speak to the student next to them. Move to a student with a question and answer quietly. Don't allow questions and answers to be called across the room. Many students find this distracting. Write responses to questions on the board so that all students benefit from the information. Spend the test time moving around the room or sitting in spots where all students can be seen. Don't type while the students are writing the test. The noise can be distracting. Check your shoes before the test. Wear shoes that don't make noise while you walk. Good luck with your proctoring. Assessment is an important part of teaching. Let's do it right.